What's up guys, Jimmy here with another Lots of Games video. I'm super excited. Today I'm sharing with you guys my thoughts on the Spyro Reignited Trilogy. I can't believe it's been like 20 years since the first Spyro game dropped on the PS1. And this game, when it was first released, it was one of my favorite games on the PS1 console. I want to thank the folks at Activision for providing me a review code for this trilogy, for this game. I want to thank them. Now, a lot of people have been playing this game, have been super excited. Even Snoop Dogg. Snoop Dogg was recently delivered the game by a Spyro drone complete with flames. And some of you guys might be thinking, hey, Jimmy, aren't you a little jealous that, you just got a code and Snoop Dogg actually got the game delivered by Spyro himself? And a couple reasons why I'm not jealous. First and foremost, Snoop Dogg. I cannot compete with Snoop Dogg. I mean, who can? I mean, he totally deserves it. And secondly, for his delivery, Snoop Dogg actually ended up giving Activision one of his gold chains. So I cannot compete with that. I do not have a massive gold chain to give for games.
Spit that fire one time.
But as mentioned, this game has a long-running history. And granted, the PS4, Xbox One, and the Nintendo Switch has been a generation where we've had a lot of remastered titles. What maybe like a game has been out for 3 or 5 years and like they bring it back. Spyro first dropped like 2 decades ago, the first game, and actually it was really fun this week to play through the older games in the series actually on the original PS1 and then play the Reignited. I was able to compare the old games with the new games. It was a whole lot of fun to do that, and I wanted to share with you guys real quick a comparison of the first Spyro game and then the remastered, reignited version of it.
I'll take that question. Nasty Nork is a simple creature. Simple! He has been contained in a remote world and is no threat to the Dragon Kingdom. No threat! Besides, he is ugly. Ugly? That does it!
Looks like I've got some things to do.
I'll take that question. Nasty Nork is a simple creature. Simple? He has been contained in a remote world and is no threat to the Dragon Kingdom. No threat? Besides, he is ugly. Ugly? That does it!
Huh? Looks like I've got some things to do.
So as you guys can see, the Reignited Trilogy looks great, and actually it plays really well. Now, I do have to mention, I was actually a little bit disappointed that the game did not run at 60 frames per second. Apparently it's locked at 30 frames, and as I mentioned, the game does look good, but it's nothing really earth-shattering, so I was kind of surprised that the game did not play, or they did not want to go for that 60 frames per second. I imagine that this series eventually will be released on the PC, then they'll have that option to play the game at 60 frames per second. But regardless, it does play very well. And one of the things that I do have to mention, the really good news, is that something was added this time around that was lacking in the original PS1 release that was released 20 years ago, and that is a camera. And with the PS1, you were kind of locked in on where you went. You did not have that option to move around the camera. With this release, now you have that, which is great. It isn't a perfect camera. At times, it is a little wonky, but overall, I was really happy that they did add the camera, even if it was not perfect. When I first downloaded the game, I was really shocked. I'm like, holy cow, this Reignited Trilogy is 67 gigabytes. I'm like, what the heck? Why is it what's it such a big file size? And then I thought to myself, duh, Jimmy, you get 3 games in one package. And which totally made sense. You got the cutscenes, you got all these different levels, 3 different games. So if you average it out, it's around 22 to 23 gigabytes per game. And I'm sure that size is probably going to increase down the road in the weeks to come with the different patches and things like that. But guys, the game is really, really fun. It has a whole lot of charm. A lot of you guys might not know this, but this is not an open world game. Things are pretty linear for the most part, going from point A to point B or going on fetch quests. There definitely are some open areas to check out, but it's definitely on the more linear side. This game or this series eventually spawned into the Skylander series, which ended up selling, you know, hundreds of millions of toys and was a monster hit. So it's kind of cool to go back to the roots of this, you know, really successful franchise that first made its appearance on the PlayStation 1, and now here I am 20 years later playing it on the PlayStation 4. It's definitely worth it in my opinion, guys. This is not a $60 title. You are getting 3 games, at least in the States, it's around 40 bucks, which is a really good deal. 3 games, a great package. It plays great, it looks great. And as mentioned earlier, it has a whole lot of charm to it. Definitely check out the Spyro Reignited Trilogy, guys, when you get the chance. If you've had the chance to play it, let me know in the comment section below what your thoughts on these games are. And as always, guys, thanks so much for watching. I'll catch you later.